explore some of the mistakes that companies have made marketing their products during the coronavirus era.
I think one of the biggest mistakes is that people have forgotten the rules regarding not messaging conditions and diseases. When you look at all the warning letters that I've read, every single letter, for the most part, right now ties to COVID. And you would never say your product cures the flu. You would never say your product cures the common cold, or even mitigates those situations. Yet for some reason in this crisis, the letters that are coming out for the most part are related to people actually making claims about their products doing something to prevent or to cure a disease. And so I really find that surprising that these companies aren't aware or have forgotten that that's just a rule.
Yeah, I agree with you, Linda. It's surprising that they've just suddenly forgotten what the rules are in terms of structure function claims, and they're just going straight into the disease claim. And, you know, I did see some of them, and I don't know if it's just lack of knowledge, where people are doing the hashtag COVID, you know, maybe they're on Instagram promoting their product or Facebook, and perhaps they didn't know that that was a problem. I mean, in this day and age, I would think they would know that the FDA is looking at social media, the FDA is looking at websites, the FDA is looking at Facebook, the Instagram, they're looking at booths. Not that there are any booths to look at right now, but I did read one of these warning letters, and I noted that they tied it together, right? Like the COVID hashtag was made, I think, on Twitter, and then there was a link to the website, and that's where the product was sold, right? So it wasn't exactly sitting in the same place, but the FDA put all the pieces of the puzzle together and said, you can't do this. So, you know, they're looking at all of the pieces of these puzzles and saying no.
That's great. Yeah, they really look at everything as an extension of a label. I've seen companies apply immune support, which is, there's a lot of herbs that support your immunity, but while they're using the buzzwords hashtag COVID, hashtag Wuhan, things like coronavirus, then they're taking an otherwise potentially compliant marketing campaign or strategy and making it uncompliant. And so I'm really glad you brought up hashtags, social media. Most of these warning letters have also come from blogs too. I've noticed that every company has had their own inner turmoil with how do we respond to this? And so what I'd recommend is having companies fight the urge to have to explain what the coronavirus is. As you're talking about what the coronavirus is, well, it's a pretty much gray line between talking about what the coronavirus is, and if you have a hyperlink to your product at the bottom of that, guess what? All of a sudden you're implying it. And these warning letters have been, some of them have been very overt, some of them have been simple implication. So it's really interesting to watch this as well too.
Yeah, I think it's really comes down to language. As I said before, you wouldn't normally associate with disease or condition claims. And so all of a sudden, if you're talking about COVID, even in anything, we look at your shipping message. If your shipping message references COVID and you're selling supplements, we look at that, at least in our business, as a problem. We'll talk about during the current crisis or during the current situation, shipping may be delayed. But you know, if you put the word COVID right at the top of your website in your shipping message, it could be insinuated to be that you're selling products for that.
Yeah, and it's important to, those are great points. And it's important to be able to learn how to read these warning letters and kind of read the matrix, as I like to say. So the FDA is obviously focusing on blogs, socials, things like that, but even more recently focusing on videos and video captions as well too. I would like to say that declaratively, 100% of the coronavirus warning letters mention coronavirus or COVID or Wuhan. So step one, I think, is, you know, taking those buzzwords out of your website. And I think, Linda, when you're talking about messaging and shipping delays and that type of thing, that's a really great example.